we are going to set up a grade scheme. We'll start doing that by going to My Tools and selecting Grades. And from the Grades area, usually it opens up in Manage Grades, we're going to go up here and select Schemes because we want to create a grade scheme. When we open up grade schemes, you'll notice there already is one in place. It's called Percentage. This is a system default. It's called an organization scheme. We can't even see what it is. So we certainly don't want to use that as the grade scheme since we really don't know how this is figuring out grades, which is why we're going to add a new scheme. We'll get our grade scheme from the syllabus, and you can see here we have one pretty well developed. Notice the difference between grade scale, which is how we break down assignments, and grading scheme, which is how we assign percentages or point ranges to grades. So we are going to go ahead and use this grade scheme and teach D2L how to figure out our grades using this. To create a new scheme, we click, oddly enough, on New Scheme. And now we have the beginnings of a grade scheme. You'll see that we need to give it a name. I'm going to go ahead and call this DOC Example Default because I want it to be a default. We could give it a short name. Don't have to. Now there's two things you really need to fill in here. One is the symbol, and then the other are the percentages. And we do these ranges upside down. So we start with 0%, and the symbol we give 0% is F. I know symbol sounds really exotic, but in reality that's all you're doing is putting the letters in. So our grades scheme makes the next symbol a D minus, and it starts at 60%. Now what we've done here is we've said that everything from 0% to 59% is an F. And we don't have to tell it 59% because D2L is smart enough to know that, okay, if it's 60%, that's a D minus. And so what's left for us to do now is to fill in all of these other scores. So a D starts at 63%. Oops, we've run out of things. Well, we just need to add more ranges. And we can add a bunch of ranges. I think I need here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more of them. So I will go ahead and create 9 more ranges. And now they all add down here, and I'll just go ahead and fill those in, and then we'll come back and see what the result is. Okay, so we have finished putting in our grade scale here, and you can see everything lays out just like it did in our document. Now, optionally, you can put in colors. I kind of like to use colors simply because it makes the grade book easier to read at a glance. So let's say go ahead and put in just a simple red for failing, yellow for in trouble, and you can set those wherever you want them, and then I'm going to go ahead and make green for don't worry about these people. So there are the colors all added in, and the last thing you might think about is the assigned value. This is only really used in a certain kind of grading that we probably won't use, so let's just go ahead and leave that blank for now, and I'm going to save and close. And now I've added this new grade scheme to my list of schemes, and you can have several of them here if you want. The last thing we want to do is set this to be the default. Even though we named it default, that doesn't make it a default until I tell it to be a default, and I do that by clicking over here, set as default in this column, click, assure D2L that that's what I meant, and now you see that this has become our default scheme. Again, this is really important not to have percentage be our default scheme. Now if we don't choose a grade scheme, it will use this grade scheme as its default. So that's how you set up your grade scheme, and we'll progress from here into the rest of the grade book in the next video.